Hello and welcome to E2E's Business Unusual, a video content series for and by the SME community. Our focus is on helping entrepreneurs navigate this very difficult environment since COVID-19. Today, in our very first video, we have the founder of E2E, Shalini Khemka. Shalini, I want to say welcome, but really this is your series and you want to welcome everyone who's watching. So I'll just say, hand it over to you.
Thank you very much, Fergus. Firstly, thank you very much for working with us on this. And I'm delighted to be hosting the Business Unusual series with you. And thank you for chairing this for us and being our spokesman. When we were talking about the fact that everybody's going through a very, very difficult time. We are under the pandemic situation. Most of us have not seen anything quite as bad as this during our lifetime. So one of the benefits of E2E and one of the things that I'm most proud about in our community is that we have very, very engaged serial entrepreneurs and growing entrepreneurs. Each one is facing this issue, and we thought that it would be good to get an understanding of how different people within the E2E community are handling the situation. And thank you for sort of coming up with the idea of Business Unusual. And we've been very fortunate because we've got quite a lot of great entrepreneurs from early stage to serial founders running multi-billion-pound companies who've very kindly agreed to give their time to share their mindset, how they're evolving themselves and their businesses during this period. So I'm proud that we're hosting this together, and I'm hoping that this will add a lot of value for the lives of other entrepreneurs. So I set up E2E, basically entrepreneur to entrepreneur exchange, to help founders meet more founders. So to be able to do something in a digital way like this and have the kind generosity of our network being interviewed by you, I think is very, very valuable, not just for me, but hopefully for our members and for the wider community of SMEs nationally and internationally.
And yeah, and I'll just say from my side, selfishly, I found it super interesting talking to all the founders because there's something to learn. Mm-hmm. There's the accumulated experience, people who've been through nothing quite like this, obviously, but been through the global financial crisis and other recessions, and how they're applying those lessons to now, as well as what's working and helping them get through this period. So yeah, I'm with you. It's been very interesting, or it is very interesting for me too.
And do you feel you're learning from?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and you're putting me on the spot because normally I get to do the questions.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm learning, and obviously I don't want to spoil some of the interviews that we'll be putting up on this channel, on YouTube channel, and also on E2E's website. But yes, some of the interesting pieces. One has really stuck with me from a founder, and what she said, and she was applying a lesson from the financial crisis, and she was saying that if the market goes away, don't try to recreate that market because you'll just exhaust yourself. Figure out what's next. And then me getting to ask a question again, which is more fun. Put you on the spot. But one of the things too, so you've set up Business Unusual, again, as a way of reaching out to entrepreneurs and the E2E community. I know also you've been working on policy side and representing SMEs. I don't know if you want to talk through some of the pieces you've been working on and maybe even some of the highlights and results.
Yeah, sure. So firstly, obviously, we're running as a video series, The Business Unusual together. We also had to very quickly convert our physical events model into a digital events model. So we're in the 7th week of COVID-19 right now, I believe. So we've held 6 webinars, which we've called E2E Live. And we've had people from Lara Morgan to Lord John Bird to Hugh Chappell to Paul Donovan, the Global Chief Economist for UBS Wealth Management. We've had Pontus Norin, who sold CloudReach to Blackstone. So we've had to really quickly learn and evolve our business model to be a digital events model as well. We do a lot more than events, but one of our core functions prior to COVID-19 was running a minimum of one event a week, and we did them in 11 cities. So my team and I suddenly found ourselves in a situation that how do we re-strategize? How do we make sure we add value and purpose for our members? And it's been quite interesting and huge amounts of learning. And what's been brilliant about the webinars is normally for a dinner we would have 20 people, maybe 30 people. For a bigger event, there's significant amounts of organization and we would have anything between 50 and 100 people. On most of our webinars, we're averaging 80 to 100 people and they're interacting live. So that's been really, really good to do. And I think it's brought in quite a large breadth of people from across the country and internationally. Another thing that I've been very keen on is because we're inundated with calls for help from our community, is to really understand and get to the bottom of what are the challenges that our members are facing. And fortunately, because of our members talking to us, I've been able to sit on something called the Business Action Council, on the committee of the Business Action Council, which has been put together by Maurice Ostro, who's the Prime Minister's special advisor, special ambassador actually for entrepreneurship. Lord Bill Moria, who's Vice President of the CBI, is involved. The Federation of Small Businesses is involved. Entrepreneurs organisations involved. So all the major bodies, membership bodies for entrepreneurship in the UK is involved in the Business Action Council. My role on that has been to chair the Job Retention Scheme Subcommittee. So we've had 6 subcommittees ranging from the future of finance to peer-to-peer networking, to tax and reform, to the one that I'm leading, which is the Job Retention Scheme. So we've been able to take the feedback from our members and the wider small business community in the UK and look at some of the policy changes that have been required on the policies. For example, the JRS, the coronavirus job retention scheme policy is the one I've been leading, and thank you for joining me on that subcommittee. So we put forward a paper a couple of weeks ago. Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, has already made some changes. He's extended the furlough scheme till October. He's talking about introducing partial furlough from July, August onwards. So many of the recommendations that we've been able to make are being heard and I think are going through. And we should know more hopefully this week.
It sounds like, and we will sign off soon, so we let folks get to the main content, but it sounds like you're helping all the members of E2E.
Yeah.
In addition, you are well in their shoes and dealing with the very issues that all your members are.
Yeah, it's been a challenge because I've also had to rethink our whole business strategy. The advice given by our network has been to keep our powder dry. It's about survival today. So we've done everything to keep our cost base as low as possible and really rejig the business quite a bit so that we increase our runway and buy ourselves more time. Yeah, and that's been quite mentally challenging. It's been quite a lot of up and down because you have to try and keep, how do I put it? You have to keep yourself mentally agile and keep yourself really, really positive and focused, because when you're at home in lockdown and nothing much is really happening out there, it's so easy to put yourself in a situation of, okay, there's tomorrow and there's tomorrow and there's tomorrow, and therefore you become slightly less motivated. So I found that I tend to get up and go for a walk in the morning and do my 1 hour that I'm allowed every day. And that helps me hugely. Plus, I think where I'm very, very lucky is surrounded by really, really good people who I can call on to take some advice, and they say, keep going, and that has helped. So, and the team have been very, very good. They've really solidly rethought strategy, and I also thank you very much, because it's people like you who have focused on how can you value add, how can you add value to the community, and that in itself is motivating. So I think a combination of a little bit of exercise, positive mental attitude, being surrounded by good people, all these things are helping, and the economy will change. This isn't going to go on forever. This is a period of time. Yes, it's a blip, and it's quite a big blip for quite a long time now. But every cloud has a silver lining, and good things will happen as a result of it in the long run. I'm confident of that.
Thank you. And as you were talking, my last question was going to be, Shalini, I hope you join us for your own Business Unusual interview. But it feels like even in this welcome video, you're already getting to a lot of the topics we cover about really how to focus and how to get through this and how to keep not saying we're not going to be impacted by this in our motivation and how we feel, but also getting through it. So those are topics that you are covering today, but also other people who join or interviewed for this series also cover. So thank you very much for giving us a snippet as well of some of the content.
Thank you very much, Fergus. Really nice to speak to you, and thank you again for all your help in working with us.